Hey, what's up? It's your girl Twan the Mystik from housemystik.com. Hello and welcome to my channel if you are new here. If you're new here, I love to make pick a card, spiritual related videos and content, and we'll also be adding tons of vlogs and new stuff on here pretty soon. So if those are some things that interest you, make sure you hit the subscribe button, that notification bell as well, so you're updated every single time I drop something new. Okay, yes, I will be dropping new stuff soon. Just waiting to drop this baby. Okay. Just waiting to drop this baby. All right. So yeah, today's reading is all about who your ancestors are. This idea came to me and I thought it was pretty cool. So I'm like, let's try and see what your ancestors got to say. So basically what we're going to be looking into is who your ancestors are, the ones that are currently surrounding you, what gifts you inherited from them, how you can bring success and healing to your bloodline, as well as any other messages that they have for you. I'm pretty excited to see what comes up. So yeah, let's get into the piles. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the piles. All right, so pile number one, the first pile is selenite. Ooh, selenite crystal. Working with natural sunlight here, so it's kind of bright. So, oh, there we go. All right, and then pile number two is this heart-shaped rose quartz. And then pile number three is this honey calcite? No, this is orange calcite. Okay, I always get orange calcite and honey calcite mixed up, but this is orange calcite. Okay, orange calcite. All right, so yeah, pick the crystal or the pile that you feel the most drawn to, and then go to my description, or you can go to the timestamps in my comment section so that you can, go to your timestamp. All right, so I will see you at the click of your timestamp. Hello. What's up, those of you that chose pile number one with the selenite crystal? Okay, so yes, we are getting into who your ancestors are that are currently surrounding you, what gifts you inherited from them, how you can bring success and healing to your bloodline, as well as any other messages they have for you. Okay, so yeah, let's get into it. All right, so the first cards are going to tell us who your ancestors are that are currently surrounding you. Okay, so we have Nine of Pentacles. Ooh, wait, let me show y'all. Nine of Pentacles. We have Nine of Swords. Interesting. Two nines. We have Six of Wands. And then we also have Five of Cups, but reversed. Okay. This is a random message I'm getting. Okay. So for some of you guys that are on here that chose pile number one, it made me wonder. Six of Wands for some reason made me wonder if some of you guys are African, like African ancestry, or even like Africa, Jamaica, Caribbean. African, Jamaican, like anywhere in the Caribbeans, something like that. That's what I'm picking up for some of you guys. But that doesn't have to be the case. Like, you don't have to be African for the rest of this message to, resonate with you. But I'm definitely picking up some African ancestry, or Jamaican, or somewhere in the Caribbeans or something like that. Okay, so what else I'm picking up from your ancestors right now is that they were farmers. They were farmers or worked on the lands. Well, yeah, farmers. But like landscaping could be one, or like they lived off the land, where it's like they were in a village or in a town where it's like, they grew their own food, even if it's not necessarily they were like farmers and like had a big farm or something like that, but they probably grew their own food in like their backyard or like something along those lines. I'm just sensing growing their own food, and maybe that's why you are into growing your own food, or like plants and nature and animals and things like that. But I'm getting ahead of myself because that we'll save that for the gifts, okay, that you've inherited from them. But I'm definitely sensing like farmers, okay, or people that lived off the land and grew their own food and like maybe made their own electric or lighting, you know, just like y'all like independent, because they did their own thing, like they grew their own food and had their own animals, or that's what I'm picking up, okay? And then with 9 of Swords here, I wanted to show it to you guys, but then it messed up my little organization. Okay, so 9 of Swords. Okay, so with 9 of Swords, that also makes me think that for some, I'm getting the sense, okay, because a lot of messages are hitting my mind right now, okay? I'm getting the sense that something with poverty, possibly, but 9 of Pentacles is here too. So it's giving rags to riches or something, like maybe your ancestors had like it was like they were poor, but then they ended up being successful through making their own food or growing their own food or making stuff from scratch. Like I'm also sensing clothing, like, and then they sold their foods or the clothing or the whatever natural resources that they had access to, which made them wealthy eventually. Or even if it was not necessarily like wealthy where they had billions of dollars, it definitely sustained you guys or them. Okay, but with the 5 of Cups here being reversed, it's definitely making me think that that was the solution to their problems, them going into business for themselves, or like selling the natural resources that they had access to, or using their own skills such as like sewing, or I don't know why I'm picking up sewing, but yeah, sewing, or just some type of skill that they had, okay, and they were able to make money off of that. Or maybe they worked at a farm that was associated with natural resources or something along those lines, okay, and it brought in money. Okay, and I feel like you are someone that's very skillful. I'm getting ahead of myself, but that's the next set of cards. But I feel like you're someone that's very like naturally resourceful. You're naturally resourceful, and you have a lot of different skills, and that's what brings you money. And you're probably a business owner yourself, and you bring in money through using your own gifts and skills and talents and, you know, things like that. So let's see what these cards got to say, because now we're about to see what gifts and talents you have inherited from your ancestors. Show the world the real you. Okay, so see, full moon in Aquarius. Okay, so yeah, inventive. Okay, because that's the word I was thinking of, but not thinking of, but that's what I was trying to say, because I was feeling like you had connections to like your own talent, or not. Well, yeah, you had a connection with your own talents. Okay, I'm confusing myself. I meant they. Okay, they have your ancestors. They had a connection to their own talents and gifts. Okay, where they were like, okay, I have this skill, I have this skill, I have this skill. So now that I have this, like I'm realizing I have these certain skills, how can I use this to make money? Okay, how can I use this to make money? And they benefited off of that. They're in innovative ideas and skills and things like that. Okay. So then we have adjustments are required. 3rd quarter moon. And it's time to release negativity. Full moon in Scorpio. Okay, so I'm wondering if some of you guys are Aquariuses or Scorpios, sun, moon, rising, or you could have it as a stellium in your chart. But I'm definitely feeling like, yeah, your ancestors were very skillful and used their ideas to make money when it seemed like there was no other way. Yeah, and use their connections to certain resources. Like if they had good land, they grew their own food so that they shared. Not only did they use it for, the family to eat food, but then they sold it. Or they were creative and knew how to sew. So not only did they make clothes for the family, they made clothes and shoes and other stuff for stores, and and they sold it. I just feel like your ancestors are very connected to their talents. They're very, very connected to their talents, and they use them to not only benefit themselves but benefit others. Okay, and so yeah, especially with this Aquarius, I'm wondering if some of you guys have a Scorpio moon or Aquarius moon, or like Aquarius in the 8th house. So that means your rising would be Cancer, most likely, or possibly Leo. Something like that. But I definitely feel like skills. There's certain like innovative ideas and skills that your ancestors had. Maybe even some of them were inventors or something, especially with Aquarius here, or they worked with technology. They made their own type of technology or something along those lines. Okay, so how the next set of cards is basically how can you bring success and healing to your bloodline. Okay, so first we have truth. Wow, and that's funny because we have show the world the real you. And then we have manifestation. Very interesting, especially with 9 of Pentacles here. And then we also have grieving. Okay, so I feel like for some of you guys, your ancestors had these amazing gifts, but they weren't able to share them with the world. Maybe it was like on a smaller scale that they were doing these things, such as like if they sold clothes or made clothes, or they did stuff with natural foods and herbs and things like that. I feel like it was on a smaller scale. And the fact that we have to show the world the real you, and then we have the truth card here, it's definitely making me think your spirit, not your spirit guides, but your ancestors want you to live in your truth. They want you to live in your truth and take these gifts on the road. Not on the road, but like they want you to be on a larger scale. Like, this is my group that your ancestors are like, we want you to be famous. Okay, we want you to be famous and carry out the family name. Okay, because I feel like your family, your ancestors were so gifted with so many different skills that could have helped them make money, but it's like maybe it's that they didn't get to do it because of poverty, or because of life circumstances, or because they had to raise a family when they were young, or they had to they experienced, like, because we have grieving here, so maybe they experienced war, or they experienced something that made them not really be able to focus on their gifts and skills. But they want you to focus on your gifts and skills, especially with manifestation here. They want you to focus on your gifts and skills, and they want you to use them to manifest wealth for yourself and the generations to come, and to also like heal doubts that you may have, because the doubts that you may have come from them, and not because they doubt you, but because of their own doubts that they had because of their certain life experiences that made them not be able to do things on a grander scale. Okay? So they want you to use your gifts and skills to manifest a lot of success for yourself, because you can do it, because you're probably someone that's very multifaceted. Like, you probably, maybe you, like I said earlier, maybe you're into herbs, but maybe you're also into fashion, but maybe you're also into art, but maybe you're also into, like, you have so many different skills, and they want you to use that to your advantage. Okay, because they know that you can be someone that's very wealthy and very well known by the world, but don't let the doubt and the fear and the feelings of lack make you not go for what you want. Okay? And then let's see. Trust. We have trust. Oh my gosh. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. Oh, I forgot to say, these are the extra messages from your ancestors, okay? So trust. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. And literally what I just said was talking about, they want you to go for these things that you want and not let doubt and lack and fear keep you from doing what you feel called to do, because that's them that's been pushing you to do this and do that and try this and be like, push you into the spotlight. Like, a lot of you guys, I feel like your ancestors like literally are pushing you into the spotlight to be more visible or in some type of leadership role. Okay, especially with Six of Wands coming out. Okay, so acceptance. I am learning to accept the things that I cannot change. Okay, so another message from them is that you can't change the past, which is giving Five of Cups here. You can't change the past. Yeah, like, I'm feeling like for some of you guys, another reason why you doubt yourself is because of mistakes you've made and, you know, things like that. But your ancestors want you to know that shit, it happened, but they want you to keep going. Okay, they want you to keep going, and don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt the fact that you are tremendously gifted. You are tremendously gifted, and what you're looking for is looking for you too. Especially if you're in a space where you're just really doubting yourself. Maybe you're in a place where your finances are a little messed up, or you're in a situation that you don't like. They want you to know that, yes, stuff happened, but it's time to move on. It's time to pick up and move on and do things differently, or to do things differently, or carry yourself with pride. Okay, because I feel like some of you guys may be in a state of feeling not proud of yourself because maybe of the lack of progress that you feel like you haven't made in your life, or maybe because of the mistakes you've made in the past, or things like that. So yeah, your ancestors want you to accept stuff has happened, but it doesn't take away from your tremendous potential. Okay? So that was your reading, pile number 1. If it resonated with you, please leave a comment to tell me how so. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're updated every single time I drop something new. If you feel called to, you can tip your girl in the virtual tip jar. My links are in my description and in my comment section. So yeah. And also make sure you go to housemystik.com to purchase my spiritual art, spiritual decor, merch. I'm adding bags, shirts, all types of cool stuff on there, paintings, all that good stuff on there. So yeah, go to housemystik.com, and I'm trying to think, is that all? Yeah, that's all I want to tell you guys. All right, I hope you have a great rest of the day, and I'll talk to you again soon. Peace. Hello. Those of you that chose pile number 2 with the rose quartz well, the heart-shaped rose quartz crystal. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and get into your reading all about your ancestors that are around you or currently surrounding you, and what gifts you inherited from them, how you can bring success and healing to your bloodline, and then also just any other messages they have for you, okay? So the first 4 cards are basically going to show like some characteristics about your ancestors, okay? So, we have the Star, ooh, 7 of Swords, okay, 7 of Cups, okay, and then 2 of Pentacles, okay. So, for you guys, for some reason, I'm feeling like your ancestors, for some of you guys, I feel like it's like a mix of different cultures. I'm sensing that it's like a mix of different cultures or something, like a mix of different races, a mix of different cultures, a mix of it's like a mix. I'm sensing like a mix of cultures. That's what I'm really sensing, like a mix of cultures, a mix of races, a mix of, yeah, that's what it is, a mix of cultures and races or something. Hey y'all, sorry, I had to stop the computer because there was like some humming going on. Ugh, that's my necklace glare that you're seeing over there. There was like humming and I wanted to make sure that you guys could hear me. Okay, so like I said, for some of you guys, I'm feeling like your ancestors, it's like a mix of different cultures. And it could be like a mix of different races where it's like, you know, maybe your dad is black and your mom is not black, or, you know, maybe your grandparents, like one set is white and one set is black. I don't know. But it could also be like, for example, let's see, like, for example, I know I mentioned Jamaican in the last pile, but with Jamaicans, they're made up of different types of Jamaicans. Like they have the Chinese Jamaicans that kind of look like Chinese, but they're Jamaican, you know, like that's what I mean. It could be something like that, where it's like a culture that has many different races, or like another example is like Puerto Ricans, because I know they have some African in them as well. So it's like, it could be something like that, or it could be your ancestors, or like they're from a culture that, or I'm getting confused, but it's like, it's either that it's a culture that has many different like races and cultures coming together, or it could be literally like your parents, like one is one race and then one's another race, or maybe they're both mixed races or something like that. But I'm sensing it's like a mix of cultures or a mix of races with the 7 of Cups and the 2 of Pentacles. But anywho, another trait from your ancestors that I'm picking up here is some of them were deeply into astrology. I feel like some of them were super into astrology or super into spirituality or something, and they look to the stars for guidance or look to spirit for guidance. Maybe they were very, very religious, but I'm also picking up that for a lot of you, it's not like religious. It's more so like spirituality, where they were into like magic and astrology and meditation and crystals and spells and, you know, things like that. But maybe some of you guys are heavily into astrology as well, because of the fact that your ancestors were deeply into astrology. Okay, so yeah, let's see what gifts you inherited from your ancestors. Okay, your commitment is being tested. Okay, oh, one of the things I forgot to say with your ancestors that are around you currently, I feel like some of them, I'm sorry. Can y'all see that glare? That's from my necklace because the sun is literally hitting it. I wonder if that's a message for you guys. Like maybe your ancestor did sun worship or something like that. Because I don't know why at this point in time, the sun is just hitting my necklace. But anyway, I forgot to say with Seven of Wands, I feel like your ancestors could have fled a country. For some of you guys, fled a country because of war, fled a country because of politics, or maybe just because they wanted to come to America or something, or they wanted to go to, let me not just say America because, you know, that's not the only country that people can go to, but maybe they went to somewhere else where they felt more free. Okay, for some of you guys. Okay, and then we have don't let pride get in your way, full moon in Leo. And then we have a new romantic cycle begins, new moon in Libra. So yeah, I do feel like for some of you guys, you could be mixed, okay? Or your parents are from, like, they're not from the same culture or something like that, or could even be the same. Like, I was thinking about my parents, how they're both African, but they're from different tribes, which can be very different. But I'm feeling like for you guys, it's more so like a split or something where it's like they brought something together. Your parents brought something together, or your grandparents, or great-great-grandparents, great-great-great-grandparents, where it's like because of them, it created there's a whole bunch of different cultures that are a part of your ancestry. I feel like for a lot of you guys. But anyway, I feel like you get your creativity from your I want to say your grandparents. Maybe for some of you guys, it's your grandparents that are around you, like a grandmother figure. I'm picking up a grandmother figure that maybe she recently passed. Or you were very close to her, or she is just always around you. Like if you didn't even know her. But I'm definitely picking up a grandmother. But anywho, I feel like you get your creativity from your ancestors. And I'm also picking up the ability to magnetize people. I know that may not seem like a talent, but you have the ability to draw people in. Even with this Libra card here, and it's saying a new romantic cycle begins. Like, you're very good with people. You're very, very good with people and drawing in people and drawing in opportunities. But I'm more so thinking people. Like you're very popular. Maybe you feel like you're not, but you have a certain magnetism to you that brings in people. And I feel like your spirit guides want you to use that more to your advantage. Okay. And then we also have your commitment is being tested. What am I getting from that? I think your spirit team, well, yeah, your spirit team can be your ancestors, but I feel like one of the things I'm getting as your talent is, especially what I said about the Seven of Swords card here. I feel like some of you guys have ancestors that fled the country or fled from their family or escaped in some type of way so that they could be more free. And I feel like it may not seem like a talent, but that's something that was passed on to you. Okay. Wait a second. Didn't I say something about the sun? Didn't I say something about the sun because it kept hitting my necklace? And we have the Leo card here, which is ruled by the sun. Okay. So some of you guys are Leos in here, aren't you? And that's probably why you have the ability to draw people in, and you're probably super creative. Okay. Anywho, sorry, lost train of thought there. Okay. So yeah, like I said, I feel like some of your ancestors fled the country or had to do what they could to be more free. And I feel like that's a talent for you. Not necessarily that you have to flee the country or flee, you know what I mean? But you're not afraid to step out on a whim. Like, you're not afraid to step out on faith and go at things alone. You're not afraid to go off into a whole new world without other people. Okay? And then even with don't let pride get in your way, I feel like for some of you guys, even with the star card here, I feel like for some of you guys, your ancestors, yeah, they were trying to escape tradition for some of them, like not wanting to adhere to the certain rules and traditions that they had in wherever they're from, and they were like, okay, I want to be free to do my own thing. I want to be free to do my own thing. And you are someone that feels the same way. You like to be free to do your own thing. You don't like to necessarily follow rules and have to adhere to certain laws and do things according to tradition, according to the rules and stuff. So, yeah, I feel like you're very not into tradition. Okay. So how can you bring success and healing to your bloodline? We have peace. Interesting. We have new beginnings. Wow. Okay. And that's what I was talking about. Okay. Psychic abilities. Okay. Wow. Okay. So, yeah. Going back to Seven of Swords. I definitely feel like some of your ancestors, I said that they were escaping, like fleeing a country or escaping certain laws or something like that. So I'm wondering if some of you guys, like your ancestors, were like shamed for being into magic and spirituality, because I did talk about that up here. Like maybe they were super into spirituality and people looked at it as like demonic or something like that was not good or something. So this family or this ancestor decided, okay, I'm going somewhere else. Okay. And then we have the new beginnings, and then we have peace, which is very interesting because it could be that your ancestors are wanting you to escape any traditions within your own family. Okay, because maybe your family is really traditional, or they have a certain way of thinking, or they have a certain way of doing things, and it's time for you to step away from that so that you can find peace. Okay? So that you can find peace and do your own thing and not be restricted by their rules or their ways of being, their ways of doing things. Because I'm feeling like your ancestors are wanting you to adopt your own set of beliefs. Like I'm really sensing Aquarius energy here. Aquarius was in the last pile, so maybe you should watch pile number 1 as well. But I feel like, yeah, your spirit guides want you to find peace through doing your own thing and being your own person and creating your own traditions and living a life that suits you instead of what your parents said or what certain people say that you should do. Like it's meant for you to do your own thing and to be free. Okay, because that's what's going to help you find peace, especially if because I feel like you're also someone that's very spiritual as well. You're someone that's very, very spiritual, into astrology, into magic, spells, ancestor work, things like that. You're into things like that, but maybe your family kind of looks at you like, like why is he or she into stuff like that? And yeah, your spirit team or your ancestors are trying to say you will find success if you could just step away from the confinements of your family. Okay. Okay, so then we also have, so these are the cards or any other messages that your ancestors have for you. These cards are any other messages that your ancestors have for you. We have empathy. I am open to seeing both sides of a situation. And then we have surrender. I can release my need to control. Interesting. And they're both similar colors. Okay. Very interesting that it would say that. Okay, so for empathy, I'm open to seeing both sides of the situation. It's making me think for you guys to, for some reason, okay. I'm getting multiple messages here. Okay, because, I talked a lot about how there was an ancestor of yours that probably had to flee, leave a country or leave certain things behind or whatever. But I'm also sensing there's a part of your family that's very strict and is very into tradition or something like that. And I'm feeling like your ancestors want you to see both of that. Or I said both of that, both of them. Because maybe it's like you feel like the black sheep of the family. You may feel like the black sheep of the family, but your ancestors want you to know that you're not the only one like that's in your bloodline. Okay, like for example, if you're super into spirituality, you're super creative, you're super independent and into things people would call whimsical or whatever. And maybe let's say your immediate family, like your mom, your sister, your dad, maybe they're not into things like that, but your spirit guides want you to know that, or your ancestors want you to know that long, long ago, they were that black sheep too. They were into magic too. They were super whimsical and into the certain things that you're into. They're into that too, and they want you to know that you're not alone. Okay, you're not alone. That's what I'm getting from this empathy card. That they empathize with you. They empathize with you because you may feel like you're just so different from your family. And they want you to know, no, you're not the only one that is like this. that was in your bloodline. Okay? And then with the surrender, I can release my need to control. I feel like your spirit guides want you to, I keep saying your spirit guides. I'm guessing because your ancestors are your spirit guides. But your ancestors want you to know that surrender your fears to them. Surrender your worries to them. Because I feel like you feel like, for some of you guys, you feel like such an outcast. Okay, maybe in society, maybe in your family, in life or whatever, you feel like such an outcast, but you're really not. And they want you to know that they're like you. These ancestors that are around you, they're very much like you. They're very much into those same things that you're into. And that's where you get those talents from. That's where you get that independence, freedom-loving nature, hippie-like nature from. You get it from them. Okay, so don't feel weird. Don't feel like an outcast. Don't feel left out. Okay, they want you to know that they see you, they empathize with you, and surrender all of your fears, your concerns, worries, all of that to them, because they want to help you feel better about yourself. Okay. Especially don't let pride get in your way. I feel like they don't forget that they're there with you. So pray to them, talk to them whenever you need any type of comfort when you're feeling alone. Maybe your family has made you feel like an outcast, or you feel like an outcast in society or something like that. Don't let them make you feel bad about yourself, okay? All right, so that was your reading pile number 2. If it resonated with you, please leave a comment. Make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button, that notification bell, so you're updated every single time I drop something new. Also, if you feel called to, you can tip your girl in the virtual tip jar. Link is in the description and in my comment section. Also, make sure you go to housemystik.com to purchase my spiritual art, spiritual decor, spiritual merch, all that good stuff. All right, adding new things on there all the time. I hope you have a great rest of the day, and I'll talk to you again soon. Peace. Hello. Those of you that chose pile number 3 with the orange calcite. All right, so this orange calcite. This reading is all about your ancestors, the ones that are currently surrounding you, the gifts you've inherited from them, how you can bring healing and success to your bloodline, and also any other messages that they have for you. Okay, so yeah, let's see. The first few cards are basically going to talk about some characteristic traits of your ancestors. Okay, so let's see. Number 1. Okay, 8 of Cups. This is already giving me the vibes that your ancestors probably travel. They probably love to travel and wander. Okay, 4 of Swords. King of Swords. And then the Sun. Okay, so I'm feeling like your ancestors, yeah, they like to travel. They like to travel, or were like nomads. They just like to wander to different countries and learn about different cultures. Like very gypsy type energy. They don't have to be a gypsy. Of course, they don't have to be a gypsy, but it's giving that energy of like being a nomad, someone that like to explore the world, explore different cultures. And maybe that's why you happen to be someone that likes to travel, explore different cultures and, you know, things like that. And then King of Swords is giving me the vibes that your ancestors were royalty. Okay, they were royalty. You had some kings, some queens. I'm sensing Egypt. That doesn't have to be the case. But yeah, I definitely feel like your ancestors were royalty, were kings, queens, princesses. I meant princesses, you know, things like that, especially with the Sun card. And then even with the 4 of Swords, even though she looks like she's in distress, on the card, for some reason I feel like you did have some ancestors that were, like I said, royalty, and they didn't have to necessarily work. Yeah. They didn't have to work. Things kind of came easy to them, you know, things like that. Okay, sorry y'all. So like I was saying, I definitely feel like you had ancestors that maybe they didn't have to work or was able to enjoy the finer things in life. Maybe they had a lot of time to travel, a lot of time for leisure, a lot of time for chilling. That's what I'm sensing for a lot of you guys. Like, and it's so funny because I feel like for this pile, you might have been drawn to another pile. And the other piles, the ancestors, I think it was more so the first pile where I talked about work with them. But I feel like for you guys, I'm getting ahead of myself. I feel like you have ancestors that worked a lot, but then you also had ancestors that were into the finer things in life and had time to chill and had luxuries and stuff like that. And I feel like that's why you yourself, you're kind of, I don't want to say at odds. What's the word it's like sometimes you fight within yourself. You fight within yourself because there's that part of you that's like, you know, I deserve rest. I need to chill. I need to relax. I need to, you know, whatever. But then there's that other side of you that's very hardworking. That's like, okay, if I want anything in life, I'm going to have to work very hard. It's like you're very much a hard worker, but also someone that's like, dang, I know I want the finer things in life, or not I want the finer things in life, but I know I deserve the finer things in life, or I deserve rest. I deserve to like travel and not be so caught up in the mundane reality of having to work 24/7. You know, so I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'm just feeling like you have both of those type of ancestors. But I'm mostly picking up with this pile, ancestors that were royalty and had access to the finer things in life. Had access to the finer things in life, but I'm picking up that some of you guys were drawn to another pile. So you may also have ancestors that are hard workers. So it's sometimes you feel conflicted as far as what you should do, if you should work yourself to the bone or if you should lay down. Okay. But for some of you guys, it could be that you just be resting. You just rest all the time, which isn't a bad thing. Okay. So, the next set of cards are basically the traits, not the traits, but the talents that they've passed down to you, your ancestors. What do you need to release? Emotions are running high, supermoon. And then conclusions are within reach, full moon eclipse. Interesting. So the fact that we have what do you need to release, waning moon or waning moon, and then we have conclusions are within reach. Those are both cards that tend to do with endings, and the Eight of Cups is a card that has to do with endings as well. So for some reason, this is giving the vibes that it kind of goes along with what I was talking about, as far as like some of you guys have ancestors that were like, that had access to the finer things in life. They had luxuries, they were royalty and things like that. But then you probably also had ancestors that were hard working. I'm more so picking up the ancestors that were royalty, but I also feel like you did have ancestors that like worked themselves to the bone. And I feel like with you guys, what I'm picking up is what you inherited from them is this love for the finer things in life, this love for rest, this love for being able to just chill and take care of yourself. But I feel like you've adopted more of the needing to work yourself to the bone, like feeling like, and I know we're talking about talents and traits, but I feel like you've inherited like that hard working part of yourself from your ancestors, and they're asking you to release that. And I don't mean in like a don't do any type of work, but I feel like there needs to be some type of balance. I feel like there's no balance. Okay, there's no balance between your hard work and your rest. Like there's no balance. I feel like for a lot of you guys, you go to extremes, or you get so caught up in your head that you end up not doing anything and you procrastinate. But for most of you guys, I feel like you work to the extreme sometimes. Like you really work to the extreme and you end up burning yourself out. Yeah, and we have Four of Swords here. You end up burning yourself out and then needing a lot of rest before you can start getting going again. And I feel like your ancestors want you to release that because they want you to remember them, because they had access to those luxuries in life and not had access to rest, but they had time to rest. But I don't know if it's like they had that privilege, but then somewhere along the lines, people had to like start doing the most to get their needs met. I feel like something like that could have happened along those lines, and it makes you more so prone to overworking yourself. And they want you to release that, okay? And then emotions are running high. I feel like you are someone that's very sensitive, okay? You're very, very sensitive, and that's why you need that time to rest, rejuvenate, like retreat, withdraw, things like that, to take care of yourself, pamper yourself, get in tune with spirit, cleanse yourself, like take care of yourself. I'm picking up Taurus. I'm picking up Venus. Okay, I'm definitely picking up Venus energy here, but your spirit team wants you to take more care of yourself, because I keep saying spirit team, but your ancestors, they want you to take more care of yourself, because I think something got lost along the line, like along the way here, where it's like you forgot, or maybe your parents forgot, your great grandparents or great great grandparents, they forgot what it means to rest, what it means to have peace, what it means to relax, and just take care of yourself and not worry about so many responsibilities. Okay, so let's see. How can you bring healing and success to your bloodline? Answers. Career. Okay. That's crazy. Justice. And look, she has scales. Oh my God. That is crazy, because I was like, okay, Spirit, I'm getting bombarded with a bunch of weird messages here, and I'm wondering if this will come together at any point. And we have career and justice. So, yeah, I definitely feel like your spirit team, your ancestors, they want you to have a career where it's like you are not overworking yourself, where you're not burning yourself out and killing yourself just to make ends meet. Okay? And the fact that we also have answers, I feel like, especially with the emotions are running high card, and then the what you need to release card, and the answers card being right here, I feel like your ancestors are talking to you through your intuition. Okay, they're talking to you when it comes to your intuition, your dreams, like numbers you keep seeing and stuff like that. They keep probably telling you to chill. They probably keep telling you to chill, and are trying to help you find ways to make maybe like passive income, or make money in ways where it's not like you're constantly having to be on that like hamster wheel of going, doing, pushing. They're trying to help you find a healthy balance in life, because, of course there's things that we're going to have to do, but I think like I said, that there's something that got lost along the way that made you feel like you have to work yourself to death. Okay? And like you have to work yourself to death, or that things have to be hard, and they want you to remember them. Like I said, like they want you to remember them, and they're probably even giving you, because I also feel like you're a spiritual pile as well, and they're probably telling you, or like leading you towards ways to change your mindset, like different content that helps you with changing your mindset, maybe to teach you about manifestation, teach you about different ways to attract money through having a positive mindset, or through law of attraction, things like that. They're leading you towards it because they're really trying to help you change that, because I feel like the next generation, especially if you are a parent, you want to have kids, something like that, they want to teach you how to not work yourself to death, so that you can teach your children as well, so they don't work themselves to death or feel like they have to do the most just to get their needs met, or to make ends meet. Okay? And yeah, like I said, we have the Justice card. She has the scales. Like, she literally has the scales. And I was talking about the balance, okay? And I was talking about the different extremes with your ancestors, like how there's, I feel like this is the pile that I'm picking up on your ancestors that had time to rest. But I also feel like you might have been drawn to another pile that had to do with like maybe struggle and like super extreme hard work and stuff like that, and possibly even poverty. So they're just wanting you to find balance. They're wanting you to find balance and wanting you to remember that it's okay to rest and to take care of yourself. And that's how you bring healing and success to your bloodline, because I feel like I said, something got lost along the way that made you feel, or maybe even your parents, your great-grandparents, great-great-grandparents, made them feel like all there is to life is work, 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 work. Okay. I'm also, I think I said I was picking up Taurus, wasn't I? I'm picking up Taurus, I'm picking up Capricorn, maybe even Virgo, because I feel like the earth signs, all we be wanting to do is work on stuff. But one thing about Taurus, though, they love their rest. They love their rest. So, but I'm picking up Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, mostly the earth signs. What else? Maybe even Aries. Scorpio. Yeah, but we won't get into that right now. But those are the signs I'm picking up on. Okay. So the last two cards are basically any other messages from your ancestors that they want you to know right now. Discipline. I can accomplish what I set my mind to. Okay, no, that's crazy. That is crazy, because literally I was saying, I think your ancestors are leading you to content that helps with changing your mindset. That's what's really changing your mindset, so that you're able to draw in like more money. So, and to change your mindset about money and realizing you don't have to work so hard for it. Okay. And then we also have failure. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. Excuse me. So for some of you guys, especially with career here, I feel like another thing your ancestors are trying to say right now is some of you guys have recently left a career, or left a job or something, or maybe you've been applying for jobs and they haven't hit you back, or it's something dealing with career here that didn't work out. Okay, that didn't work out, and I feel like it's because your spirit team is trying to lead you towards a career where you're making way more money without having to kill yourself working. Oh my goodness, I didn't mean to say kill. I don't want my video to get flagged, but like to overwork yourself. I feel like your spirit team has made something kind of like switch up in your career. Even like if it didn't happen yet, it's going to happen very soon, where they've made something switch up in your career so that you could realize like, dang, I be working a little too hard. Okay, maybe it's like you end up getting sick and not being able to go to work, or it could be, like I said, jobs not calling you back, or maybe dealing with a job where they don't pay enough, or ending up leaving a career where you were putting in so much work and not getting paid enough for it, or like, you know, something along those lines, something with career that didn't work out. And it's really, really, really because your spirit, I keep saying your spirit guides, your ancestors are like, no, there is an easier route for you. And when I say easy, I don't mean in a way that like you're never going to have to do anything, but easier in a way where it's like you don't have to do the most, okay? Something that's just perfectly aligned with you and your gifts and skills and talents and interests, that like where money is easily able to flow to you without having to sacrifice maybe time with family, or time to take care of yourself, or time at home, or time, like, you know what I mean? You don't have to choose between the two. It perfectly aligns with you and your family life, or your personal life, and your health, and, you know, things like that. So that was your reading, pile number 3. If it resonated with you, please make sure to leave a comment. Also, you can hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that notification bell, so you're updated every single time I drop something new. If you feel called to tip me, you can tip me at my virtual tip jar. The links are in the description and in the comment section. Also, make sure you go to housemystik.com to purchase spiritual art, spiritual decor, merch, dropping new stuff on there all the time. So yeah, go check it out and support your girl. All right, I hope you have a great rest of the day, and I'll talk to you again soon. Peace.